didn't see those before. Oh, what a nice touch. Oh my gosh.
That's Marcel. I'll grab them.
I know.
When we go over to the other side,
so
I'll grab
cool.
them. That's Marcel when he's a
there.
little puppy.
I know.
Because Marcel's,
they're the boys.
He's little there. Marcel's, he's probably about 9 or 10 months old there. Marcel's now a year and a half. And he's basically the same size as Link.
Wow.
So,
and is Buddy still staying with you guys?
And actually, Buddy's going to be, he's with her pretty often. That's my mom's dog.
That's your mom's dog.
So
yeah,
my mom loves to play Mahjong. So if she goes to play Mahjong, there's Buddy. if my mom goes to play Mahjong for the whole day, Buddy stays with us. And Marcel and Buddy tend to play, and Lincoln herds them because, you know, Lincoln is basically a herding dog, so he herds Buddy and Marcel all day
Absolutely.
long. Yeah.
So if you want to see a stupid human trick, I'll toss one of these chocolates to Steve. Because you know what? I'm not so sure he's as smart as Marcel or Lincoln, but...
Well, well,
depends on the day.
Certainly Marcel, maybe not Lincoln.
There you go. All right. So we digress.
No, when a long time ago, my assistant had said to me, when Lincoln was a puppy, and I was getting out, I was going to go for a run and take Link with me, and I said, where's my hat? So all of a sudden, Lincoln, a little while later, comes up and brings me my hat. I'm like, no, that's strange. So then I go and put the hat in the living room, and I go, Link, where's my hat? And he goes to get the hat and brings me. So my assistant at the time said, well, if Lincoln had opposable thumbs, I'd be out of work. So,
so good. All right,
he's a smart dog. So
I'm sorry, I digress. I know these are short errands, so I'll just do this real quickly. Yes. Well, you know, Andrew's putting dessert back on the menu because now you can actually eat the world's creamiest, yummy, decadent, delicious, melt in your mouth chocolate that also lowers your cholesterol at the same time. All you have to do, and remember, we only present this certain times of the year, is pick the level of chocolate that you would like, because everyone will lower your cholesterol. Right. And then you pick, you know, the number of, you know, chocolate pieces that you want, basically. What is your favorite? So we've got the creamiest, that's like the 60.
Well, I love them all.
Okay.
The 66, I think, I used to be a major milk chocolate lover my whole life. I've told the story before that we got one of those big chocolate bars when I was a kid. We visited Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's probably not more than 9 or 10 years old. It was probably like a 3, 4, 5 pound Hershey bar. And I ate the whole thing on the way home.
Geez.
So I love milk chocolate, but in my old age, I think I like dark chocolate, especially this. Because the one complaint I always had about dark chocolate is it's bitter, it's dry, and so unfortunately most Americans don't like that bitter, dry texture of a dark chocolate. But our dark chocolate, because of the addition of the cholesterol-lowering ingredient, which ironically, the milk in milk chocolate is what makes it less healthy. Ironically, the cholesterol-lowering ingredient has the same texture in your mouth as the milk in milk chocolate, but it's what lowers your cholesterol. So interestingly enough, and that was the miracle of really this product, is that by adding that ingredient, even our 91%, which is basically a 91% pure extract of the cocoa bean. Yeah. So it's basically just cocoa bean. And so it's and I'm about to take a bite now. And
by the way, it is so creamy.
It's not dry.
It's not dry.
It melts in your mouth.
Even in what, quote unquote, we call the extreme, that would be the 91. Then we've got the 74, which I kind of call the Goldilocks, if you will. And then that 66 is probably, you know, what's interesting, I think it was the 70, was it the 74 that was the most popular, I think, the last time we were here?
The 74, I would say, what is it, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20% of the orders are 66.
Yeah.
About, I'd say about 50% are the 74, and about 35% are the 91.
Right.
But and they're all, you know, I selected a chocolate. I tried thousands of different types of chocolate. I selected a chocolate that we bring in from South and Central America. I mean, I just took, I bit half the piece. I'm salivating. So it is delicious, rich, creamy, dark chocolate. As I say, and I say comfortably, and you read the reviews, they don't disagree. This will be the finest chocolate you taste. It's organic, it's fair trade. It takes dark chocolate, eliminates the bitterness, and adds the creaminess of milk. And it's not as though it might lower your cholesterol a little bit, a couple of percent, like oatmeal or oat bran or whatever it might be. If you have one of these pieces with your 2 largest meals or one with each meal, you're going to be experiencing a chocolate that you'll love that could lower your cholesterol 10, 15%. And if you make some good dietary changes, 20, 25% or more.
Absolutely. And then, like Andrew said, I shave this on top of desserts, on top of oatmeal, on top of maybe your secure soy that you got last weekend. So remember, all you do is you pick the number of chocolate pieces that you would like. These make great gifts too, by the way. I mean, especially for adults who kind of get cheated on Valentine's Day. Instead of that box of chocolates, people pick the bottom out of the little heart or whatever to see what kind of flavor it is. He or she will love this. So 10, 30, 60, 120, or 180, that's the number of chocolate pieces you get. Here's where the pricing will go. Here are your savings. Remember, we can only do this a limited time during the year because it is so creamy and yummy. Free shipping, and then of course you just pick the level of chocolate that you'd like. So the 66, 74, or the 91. Right. And frankly, I like all three depending on what I'm eating or what I'm doing.
And even on that large size there, it's a little bit more than 50 cents a piece.
Wow.
But if you went and looked for rich, dark chocolate, gourmet chocolate squares, you're going to be talking about $1 a square or more.
Yeah.
And the ingredient that we add to this chocolate costs just as much as the chocolate itself. So this is the finest chocolate you'll find, and we add that ingredient that lowers cholesterol. So, and I just wanted to show, in terms of sugar content, because it's something that I'm really tough in my diet. I really watch my sugar intake. I watch my carbohydrate intake, but I'm someone who, when it comes to vegetables, eat abundance of vegetables, quality protein. I typically eat chicken and fish, don't really eat red meat anymore. So, but because I really focus on sugar intake, I was really demanding when we created this product a few years ago. And if you look at the 3 different sizes, or the 3 different intensities, the 66, 74, 91, the 91 we could actually label as having 0 sugar.
Wow.
Because once you get under half a gram, and it's technically a bit under half a gram, we could label it as 0.
Wow.
But I'd rather just label it at 0.5 just because it's more straightforward. The 74 is 1.4 grams. The 66 is 1.8 grams. Remember, a teaspoon of sugar is about 5 grams. So it's a fraction, and this is less than 1/10 of a teaspoon. But what's really fascinating, if you look at equal calories of various fruits, whether it's grapes, peaches, or even low sugar fruits like kiwi and blueberries, they contain multiple times more sugar than contain in ChocoNuvo. So just for again, if you're like me and you're a stickler about sugar content, then you'll be thrilled with ChocoNuvo, because not only will it substantially and reliably, this is not something that just works for some people. This is something that's approved by the FDA to lower total and LDL cholesterol, your bad cholesterol, to do it effectively, efficiently, completely safely. And if you look at even something like cauliflower, snap peas, onions, cucumber, all of those contain more sugar per 26 calories than our 26 calorie chocolate squares.
Okay, that's wild. And all at the same time that you're lowering your cholesterol. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
And again, I encourage you to read the reviews, because the reviews, whether it's about flavor or whether it's about the ability to lower cholesterol, they're incredible.
Absolutely. All right. Don't, of course, sorry about that, Dustin. I forgot I was on live TV.